Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Like it's been the last few seasons, the Big 12 once again is wide open heading into 2023. We truly have no idea who's going to go out and win this conference, and we don't know which quarterback is going to lead said team to a conference title. Last few years, it has been pretty unpredictable, and we expect nothing less in 2023. But today, guys, we're taking a look at the top quarterbacks in the Big 12, ranking every single one from 14th all the way to first. We're going to be doing this for every Power 5 conference, and today taking a look at one of the most intriguing conferences in all of college football. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad that you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below, because again, here at the Gridiron Expert, college football never dies. The season never ends here at the Gridiron Expert. We want you to take advantage of that. We want you to join the conversation, join the discussion, join our GE Nation, so you don't miss out on any college football content going forward from now all the way until the end of the year. Again, never dies. The season never ends. So let's dive into these rankings, guys. Let's go in. Remember, 14 teams in the Big 12. 4 newcomers joining the conference. We got BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF, all members of the Big 12 this year. So yes, we, of course, are including their quarterbacks in these rankings. But coming in at number 14, last in the conference, we have the West Virginia quarterback situation. It's not a good one. Right now, looking like a battle between Garrett Green or Nico Marchiol. It's not really a great battle there. Neither quarterback to me screams, conference title winner or anything like that. I think Garrett Green is probably going to get the nod there at quarterback. He's the most experienced quarterback. He's definitely a dual threat quarterback. He came onto the season kind of late last year, had 138 passing yards and 119 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in that big win over Oklahoma. Had 4 rushing touchdowns and 4 passing touchdowns over the course of the final 3 games. So I'd lean more towards Garrett Green here. Nico Marchiol, definitely more of a pocket passer, but not nearly as much experience as Garrett Green has. But either way, the Mountaineers find themselves in a tough spot. Neil Brown, once again, in a tough spot in Morgantown. And at number 13, the Oklahoma State quarterback situation. For the first time, what feels like forever, the Cowboys will not be led by a guy named Spencer Sanders. It's going to be Alan Bowman, Garrett Rangel, or Gunnar Gundy. Yes, the son of head coach Mike Gundy. I would give the nod, though, to Alan Bowman here. He hasn't done much since 2020. Transferred from Texas Tech to Michigan, battled a lot of injuries at Texas Tech, but he is really, really good when he's healthy. Threw for over 5,200 yards with the Red Raiders, 33 touchdowns, completed 64% of his passes in every single year with Texas Tech, 3 years that he spent there. Garrett Rangel will seem to be on the rise, seems to show some sort of improvement. I would give him the edge over Gunnar Gundy right now, but if I was picking a quarterback to start, be Alan Bowman. He's a guy that has Big 12 playing experience and was good at it when he was with Texas Tech, would be a good fit in his Oklahoma State offense. And at number 12, the TCU quarterback situation. So, we haven't even gotten to a single quarterback yet. We're talking about these rough situations that the teams are going through. And for TCU, it's hard to replace a guy like Max Duggan. It's hard to replace a Heisman finalist, a guy that led you to the national championship game. It's going to be a battle between Chance Nolan, who transferred in from Oregon State, Chandler Morris, who was named the starter at the beginning of last year, and that did not pan out, and then Josh Hoover as well. Morris didn't always look too great in the limited times that we have seen him over the last couple of years. Only has 108 career passing attempts, only 27 attempts last year. Chance Nolan was mediocre during his time at Oregon State, threw for over 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions in 3 years with the Beavers. Threw 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in 2022. So, none of these guys scream, difference maker. None of these guys scream like, oh, one's better than the other. But you do have a guy that does have Power 5 playing experience and starting experience in Nolan, and Morris, who clearly was good enough in Sonny Dykes' eye to be the starter last year before things kind of went south. So 2 very competent quarterbacks that could get the job done for TCU, although I think it should be noted that TCU probably will not repeat the miraculous season that they had last year. And at number 11, Emory Jones at Cincinnati. He forced Ben Bryant to transfer over to Northwestern, and Emory Jones clearly beating out Evan Prater, who was highly touted coming out of high school, but hasn't panned out too much at Cincinnati right now. Jones, though, up and down career, over 2,700 yards, 19 touchdowns in 2021 at Florida. transferred to Arizona State last year, didn't have too great of a year with the Sun Devils. Now finds himself at Cincinnati. I think he can find himself back on the rise with the Bearcats. Scott Satterfield, as a new coach, did really good things with Malik Cunningham at Louisville. Emory Jones, I can see doing a lot of the same. Not necessarily the best passer in the world, but has that dual threat capability that could be a major difference maker. I think Satterfield and Jones are going to be a good partner with the Bearcats, and they could be in for a special year in their first season in the Big 12. But Jones coming in at number 11. Number 10, Donovan Smith from Houston. An absolute steal of a transfer from Texas Tech, and I think fits in perfectly with Dana Holgorsen. Threw for over 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns in 2 years at Texas Tech. And look, he's a guy that's got a really strong arm. He's a guy that's a bit elusive in the pocket as well. Has some dual threat capability, not as much as others that we mentioned, but does have that capability. He's just got to work a little bit more on his pocket awareness. He's got to work on his decision making. Turnovers sometimes an issue for Donovan Smith, but when he is healthy and when he makes those right decisions, he is very, very dangerous. I think Dana Holgorsen, an offensive mind, is going to work really well with him at Houston. You could be surprised to see how well Houston does this year with a really good quarterback under center, replacing Clayton Tune. Should also be mentioned that last year, Donovan Smith scored the game-winning touchdown for Texas Tech to defeat Houston. I believe that was in week 2, so kind of funny how things come full circle there. Number 9, Blake Shapen at Baylor. You know, Sawyer Robertson from Mississippi State is going to give Shapen a run for his money, but I still lean Shapen to get that starting job. He had a really good ending to 2021. Kind of disappointed in 2022, throwing for just about 2,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Baylor going to 6-7 a year after winning the Big 12. This is the guy that's a very solid pocket passer. He's very poised in the pocket. And is a guy that once he can kind of figure out the deep ball, if he can go downfield a little bit more, has a chance to be very, very special. I think Shapen has a lot of untapped potential there. We've seen what he's capable of, and I think you're going to see more of the 2021 Shapen this year in 2023. And at number 8, the last bottom half of the Big 12 here is Hunter Dekkers at Iowa State. You know, despite the Cyclones going 4-8 last year, he had a pretty solid year. Over 3,000 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and I think he's going to be even better in year 2. He's got a great frame, great size, completed 66% of his passes last year. That is a number that really stands out to me. So, you know, he's very, very accurate. Decision-making needs to work on a little bit. Had 14 interceptions last year, but that was his first full year as a starter. In year 2, I think he can take a major step forward in Matt Campbell's offense. So I think this is a good spot for Iowa State Hunter Dekkers to be in. He comes in at number 8 in our quarterback rankings. Number 7, Texas Tech. Whether it's Baron Morton or Tyler Shugg, either way, they're going to be set at quarterback and they're going to be set on offense. I will say that I think Shugg's going to get the job here, right? We saw that he took his job back at the end of the year in that Texas Bowl win over Ole Miss. He just can't stay healthy. But when he's healthy, he's good. Had already thrown for over 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. Had 436 yards and 2 touchdowns in their win over Oklahoma in the season finale. He's got the talent. He's got the talent around him. Chance to be very, very dangerous. I lean Tyler Shugg getting the odds there. But if Baron Morton gets the job there, 704 yards, 4 touchdowns in 2 games against Oklahoma State and West Virginia last year, threw for over 1,100 yards on the year. Again, Shugg gets the edge over Morton, but either way, the Red Raiders are set, especially with the pass-catching core they have around them. In at number 6, a newcomer, Keaton Slovis from BYU, a huge transfer for the Cougars from Pittsburgh because Jaron Hall was leaving BYU, and the Cougars were going to be without a really good, proven quarterback heading into their first year in the Big 12. Well, Keaton Slovis said, I got you. Don't worry about it. He comes in after throwing for over 2,300 yards and 10 touchdowns last year with Pittsburgh. 6'3", great frame, very accurate if he can stay healthy. That's going to be the biggest thing, again, for a lot of these guys that have battled injuries over these last few years. When Slovis is healthy, he's as accurate as they come, but you've got to make sure you keep that health up over the course of the year. In at number 5, Will Howard over at Kansas State, the reigning Big 12 champions. I love him. I love his size. I love his arm. I love his accuracy. I love his mentality. This is the guy that kind of was a perennial backup for years and years and years. And every now and then will get his chance to come in and shine. He did it a couple years ago. Did it last year. Adrian Martinez goes down, and Will Howard comes in and delivers and never gave that job back up. Delivered with a Big 12 title, threw for over 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 59.8% completion percentage. Yes, he loses some key playmakers around him, but Will Howard has, I think, continuously defied the odds and proven that, hey, I am the guy in Manhattan. I am the guy that can deliver him. We saw that last year, and I expect him to do the exact same again as the Wildcats look to repeat as conference champions. So Will Howard, no doubt to me, a top 5 quarterback in the Big 12. Ahead of him, though, coming in at number 4, John Rice Plumlee over at UCF. This might be one of the more fun players to watch in all of college football. Still needs to work a little bit on his passing, even though he did complete 63% of his passes last year for over 2,500 yards, but it's his rushing ability that's going to kill you. John Rice Plumlee's ability to escape the pocket, to extend plays with his legs is killer. 862 yards, 11 touchdowns on the year, all on the ground. Again, it's that dual threat capability that makes him so elusive and so dangerous and so hard for defenses to plan for and to defend. So pair him with a great offensive-minded coach, obviously, in Gus Malzahn. We've seen what he did last year. This is a UCF team that could be a sneaky dark horse in the Big 12 this year because of how great their offense is going to be, led by a experienced and talented quarterback in John Rice Plumlee. So I love this quarterback. I love this UCF team. Plumlee comes in at number 4. And at number 3, Jalen Daniels at Kansas. I mean, that's crazy, right, to say that Kansas had the top 3 quarterback in the conference, but it's true. Jalen Daniels, guys, was on pace to have a record-breaking year had he not gotten hurt against TCU. But at the end of the day, still threw for over 2,000 yards last year, 18 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. That's it. Completed 66% of his passes, and also had over 400 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns on the year, on the ground. Imagine what he could have done had he played an entire season. He's poised. He's accurate. He can win with his legs. He is building something with Lance Leipold at Kansas, getting themselves to a bowl game finally last year. They're going to probably get back to a bowl game this year, and a major reason why is going to be because of the play of Jalen Daniels. Do not sleep on this Kansas offense. Do not sleep on Daniels. He's legit. He's legit. Watch what he did earlier in the year. Watch what he did in the Liberty Bowl against Arkansas, trying to lead that comeback. Daniels is the real deal. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Down to our top 2, naturally, it's Oklahoma and Texas at it for that top spot. But coming in at number 2, it's Quinn Ewers from Texas, who, again, when healthy, is amazing. I know he got banged up a little bit last year, but did play the majority of the year in his first season as a starter. Threw for over 2,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. You know, one thing Ewers needs to work on a little bit is his pocket awareness, although part of that is the Texas offensive line needing a little bit of work as well. But he did live up to the hype last year. We saw a lot of flashes of brilliance, a lot of big-time performances from Ewers. Probably was going to beat Alabama had he not gotten hurt earlier in that game. So Ewers is the real deal, guys. And he beat out Arch Manning as well. Highly touted recruit. He beats him out and is going to be the starting quarterback for the Longhorns in 2023. So he's the real deal. I love watching this guy play. He's really, really young. Future very bright for Texas and Quinn Ewers. Naturally, guys, because he was number 2, number 1 is Dillon Gabriel at Oklahoma. Arguably the best arm in the entire Big 12. And again, when he is healthy, he is absolutely amazing. Over 3,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 2023. Also has a little bit of dual threat capability as well. Rushed for over 300 yards and 6 touchdowns. So 31 touchdowns on the year for Dillon Gabriel. Each of the last 3 years, dating back to his days at UCF, he's completed at least 60% of his passes, and he is going to be a major reason that Oklahoma is significantly better than their 6-7 record they had last year in year 1 under Brent Venables. He is extremely accurate, heck of an arm. He's about as calm and poised as they come. I love watching Dillon Gabriel play, and to me, there's no doubt about it that he is the top quarterback in the Big 12. Probably was last year, and once again is this year heading into 2023. So there you have it, guys. There are your top Big 12 quarterbacks heading into this upcoming college football season for what is going to be a wide-open Big 12 conference. It's going to be one heck of a year. It's going to be fun watching all these guys compete, fun watching the newcomers compete. This is a must-see conference, and these are some must-see players that we're going to get to see here in just a few months. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and, of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks, including our website, thegridironexpert.com, because again, guys, here at our channel, college football never dies. The season never ends here at the Gridiron Expert, and we want you to become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.